Now let's look at this example. We're going to find the monthly payment on a $100,000 loan for 30 years, 6% interest rate compounded monthly. Now this is the formula we're going to use. Now P is the amount that you borrow, which is going to be 100,000 in this case. R is the interest rate, 6% as a decimal. Move the decimal 2 places to the left, so it's 0.06. N is the number of compounding periods in a year, so since it's monthly, that's going to be 12. And T is going to be the time in years. And so notice that P is 100,000. Everywhere we have an R, we put 0.06. Everywhere we have an N, we put a 12. And everywhere we have a T, we put a 30. So the real question becomes, how do you find that answer? So what we're going to do, we're going to use a scientific calculator first. So I want to find the numerator. To do that, let's type in 0.06 divided by 12. And then we're going to times that by 100,000. And we get 500. Now notice in the denominator that we have an exponent of negative 12 times 30. And so we should get negative 360. And so I'm just going to write that down as a reminder to myself what it actually equals. So now let's go ahead and find the denominator. Let's do parentheses first because that's the order of operations. 0.06 divided by 12. And then we're going to add 1. We have 1.005. Now we're going to use this as the exponent key. Yours may be something like x to the y or y to the x. Whatever it is, you want to click on it. We're going to raise that to the negative 360. So hit 360 in the negative. Now your scientific may be a little different. And we get that answer. So what I want to do, I want to do 1 minus that answer. And I really don't want to, I don't want to leave out any decimals. So I'm going to show you a little trick. This is the same as 1 minus that, which is the same as 1 plus the negative of that. So I'm going to hit and make that a negative, and then add 1. And we get that answer. Normally I don't want to round off, but I'm going to have to in this case. So let's go to 833,958. 833,958. And I'm just not comfortable with that. So let's do a few more. 07196. 07196. Do one last check to make sure I got my numbers correct. So you want to do quite a few of these because I want to be as accurate as possible. Now hopefully your calculator doesn't go as far as mine, and so you'll just be able to type in or write down all the digits. So let's find 500. And we're going to divide by all those numbers. 0.83395807196. And we get a pretty good approximation of $599.55. Now I'm going to do the same problem again, but this time I'm going to use a graphing calculator. Now in the graphing calculator, it's all about how you type it in. So the first thing I want to do, I want to type in the numerator with its own parentheses. So let's type in parentheses 100,000. And now I like to do times 0.06 divided by 12. And that's all in one parentheses. And then I want to divide all that by the whole thing. So when I do that, I want to put all of this in its own parentheses. So I need 2 sets of parentheses to begin. And then 1 minus parentheses 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12, close parentheses. This is the exponent key. Open parentheses. I like to put the exponent into one set of parentheses. So it'll be negative 12 times 30. or you could just use 360, but I like to do it like this. And then close. Hit enter. And you notice we get the same answer, $599.55. Now if you happen to have a graphing calculator, now I want you to show all this work, but if you want to check it, you should be able to find a finance key somewheres. Now on your finance key, mine's going to be underneath the apps. Yours may be somewhere else. But there's the finance. So I'm just going to hit 1 or enter. And I'm going to hit the where it's darkened on the TVM solver, hit enter. So the N is the number of payments total. So what you can do is you can just type in 12 times 30. Enter. Interest rate is just the 6, don't have to worry about the decimal. Now the present value that we're going to borrow is 100,000. And then we want to make sure that these two values are set at 12 because that's monthly. Now what we're going to do to find the payment, I'm going to leave the future value, the FV, at 0. To find the payment, you just hit alpha, enter. And don't worry about the minus sign, just look at the 599.55. So there's 3 ways of doing it, whatever you're comfortable with doing, but I don't want you to use this method until you know how to do these steps, because on some assignments, whenever you need to, especially the case study, if you are doing a case study in the class, show the steps.